Okay, sweet. I need feedback, audio and visual. Yes, we got a new webcam after this morning's technical hitch. That's all been sorted now. So this is a fresh run, as it were. So hope you guys are all good in the hood. So we want a 5x5 basically. 118 people in here. We got some very latest up-to-date information about this. This hurricane's nuts. Thank you, my darling. Really appreciate that. All good then. We got 5x5. Excelente. But has anyone been sniffing a bit of a rat here? What about this?
Here's an example of how evil and powerful we are. This is just a bit of wind. You ain't seen nothing yet. What are you going to do about it? How prepared are you?
Really? How prepared are you? Well, there we go. Lots of people are starting to get prepared. Right, 5x5 is all good. Spot on. Excelente. Right, I'm coming out of the chat. We got lots of stuff to show. Right. So, yeah, there we are. Found it. Right, it's just right about being prepared. Okay, it's already happening. They've run out of food in lots of shops already, and it's not due to hit to late tonight UK time. I think it's 8 p.m. their time, and they're about 4 or 5 hours behind us. So yeah, already the shops have been stripped. That was when it was a Cat 5 storm. It's just been downgraded to a Cat 4. But be under no illusion, it's still rather windy. So I think there was more. AP. Associated Press, bear with me. I've got lots of links all open and I need to get this organized. So yeah, welcome everybody for joining into the chat to find out what's going on. Please share what you know in the live stream. The more we know about this, the better. And the hope is the people out in these areas, if they still get internet, they could probably see this and get genned up on it all. Right. Already, like I say, lots of shops, they're being stripped. Like we say, it all depends on where you are, what your demographics are, what are the risks. So obviously, if you're in areas like we're talking about now, absolutely prepare for hurricane. If we've got any guys in the chat from Florida, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Whilst I'm in here, thank you very much for becoming a new member. That's very cool. You join many others into the Funky Fam, and it is an awesome place to be. Brilliant. Right. So, when's Hurricane Trevor? Well, we're on B. So, when it goes down to T, ages yet. September, probably. Upstate New York, New Jersey, anyone in Florida. But yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. What I'm going to do, Carriacou, an island on its way. Well, the hurricane was on its way to Jamaica, past this island. If you guys have not seen this, it's gone nuts. It's had millions of views already. This is insane. I'm not going to show the entire video because it goes on for quite a while, but unbelievable. I am not joking. Right, here we go. Just going to make sure, yes, that it's on the screen. All right, sweet. So we're going to roll VT. Get it right to the beginning. It's had 2.1 million views in less than 24 hours.
So this is where we rode out Hurricane Beryl. Yeah, there was a roof, but we were here when blew away. This is a story that I want to share, but it's going to be later on down the line. First, I want to show you and tell you about what happened out here, the island of Carriacou, and its people, most importantly, and why they need help as fast as you can send it. This is going to be raw, it's going to be dirty, but it's something you need to see. This island's shredded. Its people are in desperate need of help. This is just the start of it.
Right now, Carriacou.
Like I said, I could show the entire video, but it goes on for ages and ages and ages. You could just do a YouTube search, Hurricane Beryl's Aftermath, Carriacou Residents, Survival Stories. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, if you want to just hop back a few seconds and screenshot, you'll see the title, and then you can go and see that video in its entirety. It's pretty bonkers. We've got also a few reports bringing us up to speed with what's going on out on the ground out there. If I can find it. Yeah, at least 7 people have died already. Let me just... Right. Yep. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you guys are seeing it. Right. Okay. Roll VT.
In Jamaica, the Jamaican government is urging people living in low-lying and flood-prone areas to seek shelter. There are also curfew and disaster warnings in place for the island. And CTV's Scott Hurst is following the story for us this morning for the latest. Good morning to you, Scott. You've been tracking Beryl very closely. Tell us a little more.
Good morning, Akshay. Yes, the island nation of Jamaica will soon start to feel the outer bands of Hurricane Beryl, now a Category 4 storm, and then feel much of the full punch later this morning and throughout the day. As you've been saying, the island nation is preparing, not taking any chances. Officials in Jamaica imposing a curfew that is already in effect from 6 a.m. local time to 6 p.m. today as the storm roars ashore, and also preemptively declaring a disaster area for the entire island for the next 7 days. And as you mentioned, it's already caused a trail of destruction and blame for at least 7 deaths in other Caribbean island nations. And what they're expecting in Jamaica, no different from what we've already seen. And here's some video of what we've already seen. Devastating hurricane strength winds, life-threatening storm surge, damaging waves, as well as dangerous flash flooding and mudslides from heavy rainfall. Now, for its part, Global Affairs Canada is advising Canadians to avoid all travel to Haiti and all non-essential travel to the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, as well as some other smaller Caribbean islands. And we got these numbers just recently from Global Affairs in terms of Canadians registered in some of these island nations. Just over 3,100 Canadians registered in Haiti, just over 1,500 registered in the Cayman Islands, and 1,600 in Jamaica, as well as a few hundred others in some other island nations as well. And these are the Canadians registered in these areas, not specifically the Canadians who might be in these countries like Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. And so for the Canadians who are already there, of course, the Canadian government is urging them to listen to all of the regional and local warnings and do their best to be prepared and take all the proper precautions, Akshay, as this is barreling towards Jamaica right now.
Indeed, of course, warnings being sent out by Foreign Affairs Canada. But let's also ask you about this particular storm. You know, Scott, we saw how this was a Category 5. Now it's a Category 4. Is there a reason why a storm of this magnitude is forming so early in the year?
Actually, very concerning that it's packing such a punch so early in the hurricane season. The earliest storm on record in the Atlantic to reach the strongest possible ranking of Category 5. Now, as you mentioned, Category 4, it's being driven by higher water temperatures, which allows storms to intensify quicker. And researchers point to human-caused climate change combined with cyclical weather patterns as the reason for this early intensity, fueling not just the storm, but fear it's setting a dangerous precedent, Akshay, for what could be a catastrophic hurricane season. And this is just the beginning.
Human-based climate change. You knew that was coming, didn't you? You absolutely knew that BS was coming. I know. Oh, God. It's obvious, really, what's going on. But this is quite interesting. I'm going to show you this. This was only about an hour or so ago. We're going to roll this. This isn't very long, but it's quite interesting. I'd like you to listen to this.
We are bracing for Beryl's arrival, and the Prime Minister, we understand, has already declared a state of disaster. Good morning to you, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Robin. That disaster declaration ahead of the storm is just a sign of how dire government officials believe the impact of Hurricane Beryl could be. People here are in a state of high alert. Yesterday, the gas stations, grocery stores were packed with people getting supplies. And now it's just a matter of waiting and hoping for the best.
This morning, a ferocious and deadly Hurricane Beryl heading straight for Jamaica, bringing potentially life-threatening flash floods and storm surge up to 9 feet. Already decimating several Caribbean islands since making its first landfall Monday.
There goes another roof.
New images capturing Beryl's wrath as it roared ashore onto the island of Carriacou in Grenada as a Category 4 hurricane. Stunning drone video showing the devastation, neighborhoods flattened, nearly every home and business torn apart. Authorities saying at least 6 people killed. Satellite images capturing the before and after of the historic storm, at one point intensified to a Category 5. And surge barreling through parts of St. Lucia, sending residents running. St. Vincent and the Grenadines hit hard too.
This is actually the strongest storm that we've had come through St. Vincent in my lifetime.
This is all that's left of Tammy Duncan's home.
Yep, I'm homeless.
Now, as Beryl takes aim at Jamaica, forecasters warning the island could take an even more devastating hit. Locals lining up to stock up on supplies, and some Americans heading home early, desperate to leave before Beryl's arrival.
You saw the guys stocking up and all of that lot at the last minute. So without sounding like we're beating our own drums, I'd like to think that most of us have already got food and stuff like that already squared away, because you never know what's going to be happening. It's just nuts. You can't really say too much now about the weather because we are seeing such strange changes in our climate. And yes, we've had some storms and hurricanes over here in the UK, and lots of people got caught out. So obviously one of the first things that's going to go down is power. So try to imagine how you and your family would be, say, for a week without electricity. What would it be like? What about the fridge, the freezer? What about the heating, etc.? What about Wi-Fi? What about staying in touch with loved ones? Have you got any of that covered? Certainly worth making you think, you know. So they'd be calling it Hurricane Beryl. Who remembers Beryl the Peril? I know some of you probably, like me, back in the old school days, remember Beryl the Peril. Yes, I know. I don't even know why I threw that in there. But anyway, I'm just going to go and see what the very latest is on X. Oh, wow. Truth. Right. Okay. It's unbelievable what's going on. The amount of times I've gone on there, and it's been updated every second. There was stuff earlier on which was mind-blowing. I'm not sure if we can find it because it's probably way down the feed now, but this is the very latest up to date. This was 15 seconds ago. I've already seen that video before. In Mexico, it looks like we got their sort of version of the National Guard, probably enforcing curfew, etc. So yeah, we got military movements on the ground in Mexico already. Some people just videoing some of the winds outside their balcony. Big changes in the direction of this storm too. It looks like it seems to be steering towards Texas, which is bonkers. And I think I remember seeing someone in the live chat earlier said they're in South Texas. So yeah, really keep an eye on this because this is something that is out of the ordinary for sure. Excuse me. Trying to think, because this has hit a few islands on its way to Jamaica. It's not made landfall in Jamaica yet. It's going to be within the next 4 hours. But it's heading there right away. And I'd like to think that everyone's prepared or left the island, even better. But That's in Cuba. You can see right there where Jamaica is. Absolutely. Wow. That's the projections. Just going through. Just trying to find some of them pictures that I saw earlier, because here's all sorts being put up in here. That was insane. A minimum of 140 miles an hour, which is bonkers, really. I don't even want to begin to imagine what that feels like. Oh, this is in Grenada, St. Vincent. Looks like the whole place pretty much has been shredded. Most of the properties, as you can tell, are roofless. So I'm not thinking about the DEWs with this sort of thing, with some being unscathed. But no, I just can't begin to imagine how long it's going to take to get back to some degree of normality. That is a true disaster zone out there right now. So yeah, my hearts go out to all of the people out there who have lost friends, loved ones, family, businesses, houses, etc. Unbelievable. Just trying to comprehend. Imagine if you was living there and you was walking around and that was your area. You've lost everything. There's people out there right now who are in that situation. My God, that's scary. Look at the size of that thing. That's massive. And I'm thinking of all of those little shanty towns and huts in Jamaica going to get absolutely smashed to bits when that. Oh my God. I think this was one of the planes that flew into the hurricane, recording wind speeds. And from the data that I saw this morning, it hit 187 miles an hour inside. This is in the eye of the storm. And amazing, isn't it? Look how clear it is inside. Brave men, honestly, flying inside a hurricane. Gee whiz. Unbelievable. Some more sat images. Again, more pictures of the devastation that's been happening. This was in Mexico. Unbelievable. Yes, they've got a $1.6 billion disaster plan, and we're going to get into that in a sec. There's more troops being mobilized in Mexico. This is a place called Cancun. I know some of you guys have probably been on holiday out there, and yes, that is in the path. So that is expected to get some sort of damage. Again, more details of the storm path. Kingston, Jamaica, being on the west of the island of Jamaica. Oh, this was an airport, but I think they're trying to get all of the cars on the cover because they're just going to get tossed around like ridiculous. So they're trying to make sure that they're all undercover, out of the way, and fingers crossed that they're not all going to be smashed to bits after. Again, some more footage of some of the islands. It's very hard to find locations because lots of it is written in Portuguese because that is their language out there. So apologies for not speaking fluent Portuguese. Wow. Two. There is one, L96, I think it is, which is tailing on behind. No, this was in Dominican Republic, I believe. So they've had some winds, not too bad, and they're just making sure that their power's back on. So thankfully that wasn't harmed. Wow. Mexico. Was that? Oaxaca, how that's pronounced. Looks like they've had some smashes there as well. Now that scares the living shit out of me. Look at that. It's like off of one of those films on TV, disaster movies. But this is real. And where that aeroplane flew was right in there and then flew off out again. Unbelievable. So that was just some of the information coming out of X, what used to be called Twitter. The death toll currently is 7. Obviously, that's probably expected to rise, unfortunately. This was breaking news earlier, just an hour or so ago. We're going to share this with you guys, if I can find it. Again, there's people here doing the last minute preparations. There has been a curfew issued from 6 in the morning till 6 at night local time. So yeah, basically anyone outside is going to be in trouble. People stocking up on supplies at the last minute. This sort of thing always happens to people who are not prepared. These are the guys who are going to have to go out there risking fights, violence, if food's running out. I mean, look at the state. We've been saying this for years on this YouTube channel. If you've got your own food already, you don't need to be one of these guys turning up to witness this. This happens more than I think a lot of people realize, and I think they don't believe it. But until it happens to them, then it's too late. So please, 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 always make sure the first thing, if you're new into the world of preparedness, is to get food. Start stocking up. Don't go out there and panic buy like these idiots. Just go and get a little bit at a time. Wow. There's Texas right there. I did see a model of this coming right up to here. So this whole area around landfall, potentially at risk. Right. Right, I'm going to close that one down. So we talked about earlier on the risk management order. So here we have it. I wanted to check out that news story because I don't believe it. I always make sure I double check, and when I did, this is actually the Office of the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the official website. And after going through some of the files, it is absolutely true. Disaster Risk Management Order 2024 released. Here is the PM. Got beautiful eyes, isn't he? As we come down here, the government of Jamaica has officially released the Disaster Risk Management Enforcement Measures Hurricane Beryl Order 2024 and for Disaster Risk Management Declaration of Disaster Area. He has already declared the entire island of Jamaica as a disaster area for 1 week. And it's not even hit landfall yet. So the intel that the officials in Jamaica have been receiving know absolutely full well that this disaster risk management measure, or this system, this fund, this budget, this program, is going to be severely tested, big time. And the only way that we're going to see how this operation, $1.6 million US, is going to be successful or not, only time will tell. We're just going to pop into the chat real quick just to see what's going on. Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate that, Chris. That's very, very kind, sir. Much appreciated, especially when that webcam broke this morning. I had to go and buy another one. So I'm just going to pop into 650 people here. If you can share this video to get it out there. We try to aim to help as many people as possible get as much information as they can, because, you know, people that we know probably know people out there, whether they're on holiday, whether they're living out there. It's not just Jamaica, it's the entire region is at some potential form of risk. So if we can contact those, give them a heads up of what we know, because they might not have up-to-date information where they are. They might have had the power cut, their phones might be still working, and they might be able to get information from us if we share it. So that really, really helps. So share it on WhatsApp and Facebook are the two big ones. Obviously, Telegram and all the rest of it really helps too. Right, I'm just seeing the latest. Not much really. Wow. Apart from that, bloody, I've got to show you this. That's insane. Look at the speed of that thing. The inner circle, the eye of that hurricane is just phenomenal. And the weirdest thing is this apparently, and I've checked so many sources and they're all stating the same thing. This is the earliest hurricane that has ever been recorded. Ever been recorded. Wow. So we are seeing something truly remarkable here, boys and girls. It's crazy. So yeah, what would you let me know in the live chat right now, if you was out in those areas and you had 24 hours warning, what would you do? What would you do? Would you feel safe in the mind that, cool, thank God I've got a year's worth of food in the house. Thank God I've already brought those 8x4 sheets in the garage that I can just screw to the windows to stop all the glass smashing, all the wind, rain, mud, rocks blowing into your house, potentially injuring people inside and damage the property, etc. Because if I lived in an area where you pretty much expected hurricanes every year, absolutely that's what I would do, especially in the lead or the run up to hurricane season. All power tools already charged up. You've already got the wood. You've already got the fixings, the screws, etc. You've already got it. You don't need to go, oh my God, this storm's coming in one day. Let's go down to the timber yard, only to be met with 200 cars parked there waiting. 100 of them get served. The rest of the 100 say, sorry, we've got none left. They've all got to go back and they can't board up their windows. So that's absolutely what I would do. I would absolutely have already cut to size. And I've done this before in previous properties. So if you are going to be boarding up windows, okay, all you need to do is cut each piece of timber to size and spray on it, mark on it on one side. It doesn't matter what side, what window it's for, bedroom window, toilet window, front room window, whatever it is. So it's a lot easier to get them and know exactly. You climb up the ladder and you're putting it on there. You're not going to go, oh no, I've got the wrong one, I've got to go down again, etc. Okay, all of these things require a great deal of foresight planning. It's called being prepared. It's called preparedness. Okay, why would you live in an area which is prone to having hurricanes annually and not have any contingency plans to deal with it? Why would you do that? And I would absolutely make it a priority, because one of the most important assets we all have is our own home. So why wouldn't you want to protect it at the very least? So power tools already charged up, timber pre-cut, fixings already got, ladders obviously, friends to help, 2 ladders. It's a lot easier with 2 people going up 2 ladders, carrying the 8x4 sheet up together, getting it on there, putting a screw in, you can let go now, and you climb up and you screw it all in, it's done. Sealed, safe and secure. But guess what? When you start boarding up your home, what's going to happen? It's going to be really dark inside. Now, it's only going to be a matter of time before your electricity gets cut off. It absolutely will. And in fact, I was watching some video earlier. This woman was filming on a balcony. She was right by the coast and these storm waves were smashing up all over the place. And she was freaking out. And when she panned, you might have seen it, when she panned her phone around over to the right-hand side of the screen, this huge, great electrical explosion. She shit herself. She shit a brick. Flashes, bzzz. Guess what? 2 streets worth gone, no power. How long do you think it's going to take to have that power back put back on? Do you think engineers are going to come out during a hurricane and trying to get the power back on? No. You are going to be without power. Absolutely. So think about lighting. Absolutely. You're going to need to have some sort of lighting. Always make sure, if they're rechargeable, make sure they're all charged up. Have you got enough batteries for the right sort of things that you're going to need? All you need to do is to get these things before this sort of stuff happens. So when it happens, you've already got it. You haven't got to be one of those mugs who are going to go down a shop, and form a queue only to find out it's all gone. Don't be a mug. Get the stuff early. Okay. Always, 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 always. Batteries, rechargeable batteries, entirely up to you. Energizer Lithium are pretty good. They've got good dates on them and they last a hell of a lot longer than most batteries. I've been using them for years and I've also got rechargeables, like I know some of you guys have too. What about communications? Everyone's going to rely on their phone. And there's nothing worse when something like this happens. They get their phone out to phone their mum and dad to see if they're all right on the other side of the island or wherever it is. Oh, there's no network. I can't talk to them. No signal. What are you going to do? CB aerial. Not bad. Covers small distances. You can get boots. They're generators, boosters, okay? So you can boost, amplify the signal, making your transmission go further. Obviously, with CB, citizen band radio, the line isn't secure. You got 19 channels if you want to put sideband on there to make it more. Sorry, 14 channels. 40 channels, sorry. But 19 is the channel where everyone sort of meets up on, and they pick a channel and they go there. So you haven't got secure comms, but at least it's comms, okay? Citizen band radio, been out since the 80s. Excuse me. Thoroughly recommended. Ham radio. Ham radio is a whole new level, okay? It's up to you if you want to abide by the law and get a license. You can listen ham radio all day long without a license. Tune into, scan, whatever you want to do. The second you transmit, you do need to have a license. So I know I'm going to get some people who love following the law saying, oh, no, you've got to have a license, etc. I just leave that entirely up to you. Make your own decision on that. So ham radio is a great way to stay in comms with people all over the place, okay? Water, like we said before, when electricity goes, so does the water. Because what does water need? It needs power. It needs electric pumps to pump the water around to everyone's taps. So when electricity goes down, you can turn your tap on and it will run because you've already got a supply of water inside your home, already in the pipes. When electricity goes down, you turn that tap on, it will run for 30 seconds, maybe a minute if you're lucky, and then it will stop. No water will come out. Obviously, what have they got out there? Loads of rain. It's bucketing down. Plenty of ways to capture rainwater. But would you really want to drink it? Would you want to risk it? It's absolutely fine collecting rainwater, providing the vessel that you are containing that water is sterile. How many people have sterile containers? But what about if there's bits of debris and bits of crap floating around everywhere? Because there will be. That's going to end up in your sterilized container. Would you still want to drink it then? You can always purify it. These are awesome. There's a link below if anyone is interested in these. These are made in the UK. They are solid. They filter out heavy metals from chemtrails, fluoride, viruses, bacteria. They use these in humanitarian efforts all over Africa. Absolutely proven. If you're interested, this does 5,000 litres. 5,000 litres. But not only that, they also do these. And these have a shelf life of 10 years. Okay? 10 years time, you can open it up, put it in there, and that will give you 5,000 litres of clean, safe drinking water anywhere in the planet. The link is below that, and it's 10% off if you want to jump on that. That offers till the end of August. But not only that, we need to make sure we have food. Food is very important. So, okay, you got some food. I'm happy for you. Good decision. Well done. What about cooking it? It's all well and good having all this food. If your only source of power is electricity and there's a power cut, you've got no generators, you've got no power banks or anything like that, how are you going to heat your food up? Unless you like having cold soup and stuff like that and dry noodles. If you had to survive in a pinch, yeah, it's not going to be much enjoyable, is it? Gas bottles are my advice. 15 kilo butane or propane. Propane is usually for colder climates or if they're stored outdoors, okay? A camping stove, a bog standard camping stove with 2 rings. You can boil water. Make sure you've got a metal kettle, because I know people before, and it's a classic prepper mistake. You go and buy your gas stove, your camping stove, and you forgot to get a kettle. I've already got a kettle. But you forgot it's electric. You want to put an electric kettle on a gas flame? Really? Do you want to do that retarded move? You can, obviously, you can use a saucepan. If you've got a lid on it, fine, no problem at all. It will do the same thing. But kettles have got a purpose. They've got a spout. It's a lot easier to distribute boiling water safely. And of course, some of them make a whistling noise or a warbling noise when they're boiled, so you're not wasting too much gas. As soon as you hear that sound, turn the gas straight off. Hot boiling water. You can rehydrate dehydrated foods, freeze-dried foods. Freeze-dried foods are amazing. If you guys are interested in freeze-dried food, there is another link below to a friend of mine who's got his own business doing this. It's a Facebook group and a page, and you can go there. And the freeze-dried food that he produces there are way cheaper than all of the other food fuel your preparation, Mountain House is way cheaper. And it's all good local grass-fed meat as well. It's amazing. And that lasts about 30 years. 30 years. Get it, buy it, put it away, forget about it. You always got it. Minced beef, beef chunks, chicken strips, lamb chunks, whatever it is. All you need is warm water, rehydrate it, mix it up with rice. Rice is the best thing you can get. Rice will last donkey's years. Do not get brown rice. Don't be a hero. Get white rice, okay? Brown rice has got oils in it, and that will taint, it will be rank, and it will introduce all sorts of grubs and bacteria into your food source. White rice, dry, cool, dark place, oxygen absorber, remove every bit of air that you can, and rice will last ridiculous, indefinitely probably. Pasta, always get your staples. Staple food, all you need is just to add water or just heat them up. Tinned meats, okay? You're going to get more calories in tinned meat stuff rather than a tin of peas, okay? It's a no-brainer. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, absolutely go mad when it comes to rice, lentils, legumes, pulses, beans, all of that stuff. It's all really good. One thing that a lot of people forget are spices and herbs, okay? It's not very nice just eating a tin of spam with boiled rice. It's a bit boring, and it's going to do your head in after a while. You're going to get food fatigue. And any of you guys who served in the military or ration packs know what I'm talking about. If you've got all of these herbs and spices, you can change the flavor, the taste. You can have chili sauce, garlic sauce, tomato sauce, any sauce that you want to change 2 or 3 different ingredients into 30 different meals. It breaks up the monotony, the boredom. If you've got kids, make sure that you got sweets. It's always going to cheer the kids up. Make sure you always put at least a couple of their favorite toys, their favorite books away, okay? And one of my friends over in London, he insists that he's got one of these little handheld, almost like a portable PlayStation thing, with about 4,000 games on there. All he's got to do is just charge it up. It doesn't take long, and it will keep the kids entertained, and it will keep them away from that depressed state. Because when we saw that guy walking around outside earlier, where everything's been devastated, can you imagine young kids being exposed to that? Can you imagine what that's going to do to them? Of course, by all means, expose it to them. But every now and again, they're going to need a break because it's going to be so overwhelming for their little brains to process. Sit them on the bed, give them their game, and let them play it for a couple of hours. It'll take their mind off it, and it'll give you time to think and plan what to do as your next move, okay? Candles. Candles are always important. Not only do they provide light, they provide heat. If it's really cold, you can warm your hands, etc. If you can't open anything because your hands are too cold, just placing them near a candle flame for about a minute or so will absolutely get your fingers working, so you can keep in contact with dexterity, so you can undo and tighten up tiny little things. Always make sure that you've got your kit and equipment as well. So multi-tool. Always carry a multi-tool, a knife, and a torch. I do. Always, everywhere I go. Any situation that I'm in, I've already got that stuff. And you won't believe how invaluable multi-tools are. Incredible bits of kit. The pliers and the scissors are 2 very, very underrated items to have on your person. The ability to cut things with scissors, and the ability to use the ends of pliers where you can't physically get strength to undo a nut or a bolt and turn it. But a pair of pliers, you put on there and grip it, break it, and you can turn it. it will absolutely help in so many scenarios. We'll just go and see something's happened there. Carl McPhee, thank you for the PayPal donation. Oh, 666. Wow. If you believe in all that, then that's the number. So yeah, all of these things help. Okay. So I'm just going to go into the chat. Hand warmers. Yeah, absolutely hand warmers. It's a good idea. So it's interesting. Things that you would have ready if you have 1 day's notice that there's a hurricane on the way. I think the lifesavers were out of stock because I was only shown the filters when I clicked on the link. I'm confused. If you click on the link and you see the lifesaver logo on the screen, click on that and it's the entire website. It should just be the website anyway. But these things are awesome because people have already been getting these because hopefully that there's enough stock and they don't run out, because with 10% off, they are flying. And they do seem to fall into a more affordable price bracket. I think the big 20,000 litre jerry cans are over 300. These ones are around 100. There a lot of people are getting them. Bully beef. This is I can't. Leonora. It's an interesting name. Got a ton of spices. Many are medicinal. Yeah, absolutely. Same here. Bay leaves are great for coughs. I could do with some of those at the moment, but yeah. Oxo cubes. Yeah, I used to be a big fan until I found out they had loads and loads of MSG, so I'll stop using those. I think they're called Coco or Colo. Organic. They're really good. Excellent quality, and they haven't got that MSG crap in it. There we go. Someone called Blue Angel 10. I buy a little bit towards this every week. Exactly what I done. Way back in 2010, I think it was. I was just offsetting £5 a week. That's all. In this day and age, it'll probably be £10 a week because everything's gone up. So £10 a week I would spend just on rice, pasta, tinned meats, peanut butter, stuff like that. Stuff that lasts for years. Can opener. Yeah, good idea. Although 90% of most tins have the ring pulls. Sometimes they fail and sometimes they haven't got them on at all. So absolutely get a can opener. There is a company called Oxo, believe it or not, and they do a really good black handled tin opener. And it was so easy to twist. It doesn't have any strain on your wrist, on your hands. It's so easy and smooth to use. An Oxo black handled tin opener is brilliant. I just got one and I'm glad I did. Anne says I can my own meats, etc. That's awesome. Someone said about comps. This is a good thing. I've had this donkey's years. It always sits on the shelf there. Some of you have seen this. All my old viewers have seen this, but there's lots of new people coming to the channel. This bad boy pretty much does everything, okay? I don't know why it's struggling to focus, but it is. But yeah, this radio does everything, okay? You can charge up your phone from it. If I can remember, it is that side. There's a hand crank, so you can wind it up and charge it. If you really wanted to, on the back, there's a solar panel. So you can just leave it out in the daytime, charge up the batteries in there, and this will run for ages. Inside is a tiny little rechargeable battery bank there, which I always disconnect because I don't want it absolutely running it down. I want to make sure that it's good to go. I always top that up and make sure it's full up every year, and I'll put it back in there. Last ages, okay? Or you can just put bog standard batteries or rechargeables, or I just prefer to just charge that up, okay? You can use USB, okay? So you can charge from, so it's a power bank. It's awesome. Does so many things in there. It's got a torch on there. It's got an SOS flashing light on there, and it's old school. It's not that digital crap, okay? This stuff works. All you need to do is tune into your station. Loads of different bands. That's called, if I can show it on the screen, there you go. It's the Solar Crank KA500 by Cato. Been making these for donkey's years. They're excellent. Okay. I'm not affiliated with these. I don't earn any money. I just recommend good kit, and it works. Don't be fooled and get that digital crap. All right. Please don't do that, because it's going to let you down. Right. Coming down to the current, right at the bottom of the chat now, the very latest. I haven't got, there's just God knows how many thousands of messages. Cheshire Wanderer, good to see you, Mike. Hope you're all well, mate. No, yes. No, yes, I know you can get wind-up torches, but listen, here's a tip. I brought wind-up torches in 2009, 10, 11, and 12. When I checked them, I looked at all of them 4 years ago. Guess what? Every single one of them failed. Okay, so please be careful. If you've got these wind-up torches, the cheap ones, if you've got a wind-up torch and it's under 20 or 30 quid, test it. I did. I like to throw all of them away. They are shit, and I wouldn't recommend them. So please check if you've got those wind-up torches. If you go and get it, you know where it is, and you wind it all up and it works great. Okay, if you wind it up and nothing happens, you know, you probably only spent $3.99 or $10.99 or whatever it is. So you get what you pay for. And I'm a massive advocate on this. We have to be careful. Just you guys are awesome. Here we go. This is a good advice. For bead pie. Save all your glass jars for food storage. Good tip. Always make sure you sterilize them first. Just put them in a great big, huge, bigger saucepan that you can. Undo the lids and fill it up with water. Bring it to the boil and boil it for about 5 or 10 minutes. It will kill any bacteria in there. Basically, you're sterilizing them. Okay. And try not to touch your hands on it anywhere. Lift them out and let them dry naturally. Only when they're bone dry, and I do mean bone dry, you don't want one drop of water in there, and they're cooled down, then you can put your beans, your pulses, and things like that. If you wanted to, you don't have to, but it does help. An oxygen absorber inside, and that will gradually draw any oxygen out of there over time. And yeah, you can open that 5 or 10 years' time, and it'll be fine. All you need to do is soak them, boil them up, and you've got good to go again. So we're coming down. Yeah, here we go. CB radio, you can run a 12-volt battery. Absolutely. I used to run my rig in the car. I had the Midland 104, I think it was, back in the day. And I think I've still got one somewhere. I've got a couple, actually. Base station, well, a car rig, or you can have a mobile. But yeah, CB radio is awesome. The last time I used them, though, all I could hear is Polish taxis. So not many people use them, but good to get them because one day they are going to be very, very useful. So I'm just going to have a real quick. Wow, I'm still on that thing on Twitter. Right, the very, very latest now. Bloody hell, the height of that storm, if you was to look down at it like a bird's eye view, it's 640 kilometers wide. Wow. That's 300 odd miles wide. That's how big this son of a bitch is. Jeez. That is going to smash the living shit out of Jamaica. So yeah, what I might have to do is in tomorrow morning to have a big catch up on this, because I'm really hoping that those guys are prepared out there, because that's seriously going to slam it. Dominican Republic, they've been seeing some sort of debris, very minor at the moment. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to do a live stream on this because it's going to be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'll be fast asleep by then. Right. Yeah, that's it. You guys are pretty much up to date. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting the channel. I really appreciate it behind the scenes. Without you guys, I probably wouldn't be able to do this, to be honest. It's been that much of a nightmare with the shadow ban and etc. Thanks to Rachel, my partner, and all the other mods for keeping the idiots in check in the live chat. Really appreciate that. And everyone who's taken part in the live stream. And if you can please hit the thumbs up before you go, I would seriously appreciate it. And if you want to hear more videos, prepping related, not just talking about hurricanes, I do all sorts. Please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss out. And if it's all good, you should get notifications and you could make it here into the live stream as well. If you watch it on the replay, that is. So I really appreciate all of your support. Please share the video on WhatsApp and Facebook. So important. You guys rock. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more live streams. You guys take care. Thanks for watching and stay funky.